Hello Hylians, I've connected with some of your favorite Zelda YouTubers, and we're going to share with you our favorite Zelda games, or maybe our least favorite Zelda games, maybe some hot takes, or maybe the game that we think is overrated, or maybe you just watch the video and find out. Thank you all Zeltubers that were involved, and if you're watching this, you should definitely check out all of their channels, and of course, all the links will be in the description. Pun absolutely intended. I'll go first. I'm Nico, and I'm 100% Zelda, and I do mostly videos on tutorials and how to collect lots of stuff in Zelda games. I do some streaming also. It's normally just some playthroughs of games, and sometimes I stream me doing some YouTube work so I can just hang out with some of you. Now for my favorite Zelda game, I'm sorry to say this, I do have a basic answer. It is A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild, maybe. Let me explain. So for A Link to the Past, I do get an itch to play that every so often. Yeah, also, Danny has been playing this. I got my itch from Danny. All right, anyway. You might call it nostalgic reasons, but I do absolutely think it is a great game. It has a lot in it. I do want to play it every so often, and also there are some randomizers. I know that's not really the game itself, but sometimes I watch them. I have only done it once, but I do kind of want to do it again. But I always feel like I want to play it again. And the same thing applies for Ocarina of Time. I really do feel like I want to play it again. I used to also say it's Breath of the Wild, but as of now, I'm still on my Tears of the Kingdom playthrough and I don't really feel like playing Breath of the Wild. And it's hard for me to say that Tears of the Kingdom is one of my favorite Zelda games because there are moments that I just don't feel like playing, which has never really happened in a Zelda game, but it could be because of my experience with Breath of the Wild. And also, it's still my first playthrough, so I still can't judge the game. I don't feel like I should. Now, I don't think this is a hot take, but I would like to share that sometimes I do get an itch to play Skyward Sword. I really like that game. Most people didn't, but I do like that game. And the only thing I don't really feel like playing, I played once, I got through it, I collected it almost, I think I did everything, I don't know. It's Twilight Princess. We'll go up this little platform, and I walk straight. I really just don't feel like playing that again. I probably will in the future, but that's how I feel.
I'm Ted.
And I'm Peter. And we're The Basement.
The friendliest place on YouTube. You missed your cue.
I know. Well, I didn't like it.
Hey, I'm Ted.
I'm Peter. And we're The Basement. The friendliest place on YouTube. For a Zelda channel, we play a lot of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and other games, but we like to break the game and play with the physics and answer questions like what happens if you do this weird thing.
And basically just goof around and throw Link off of cliffs.
We're really funny. And good looking. And here's the deal. We want to tell you about our favorite Zelda games and an overrated Zelda game. What do you think, Ted?
Well, my favorite Zelda game is A Link to the Past. And the reason for that isn't because it's got the best graphics or it's got the best story or any of that. But for me, it just holds so much nostalgia. It's got all of the quintessential Zelda parts. You know, it's kind of the first time they really brought it all together. Before it went 3D, it was just like, top-down Zelda, this is what it's supposed to be.
That's an interesting take.
It's the right take.
Well,
and you better agree with me out on the internet.
The majority of the internet does agree with you.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
How about you, Peter?
Well, among my favorite Zelda games are the original, which is not my final answer, but it was huge for me. I was a kid when it came out, and so I got to experience it when it was new, and it just is what I think of when I think of Zelda. And I admit my nostalgia definitely plays a role in that. I think, though, that Wind Waker is one of the best Zelda games. I love the sense of adventure. I love starting as a child and then really like going through a rite of passage, saving your sister, and then sailing those open seas, man. I did not mind the loading times that were hidden sort of in that sailing mechanic. I thought of it as like anticipation. And every time I was sailing towards something new, I was excited.
Now it's time to talk about what we think are overrated Zelda games. And I think mine might be a little bit of a hot take here. Majora's Mask. And before you attack me, I've got a good reason. See, the game is good. I think the story's great. The vibe of the game is awesome. But when I go back to replay it, I'm reminded about all of the unnecessary artificial elongating of the game that they did. They make you travel from like this side of the map all the way across the other side of the map and then back again, and they do it all the time. It's super annoying. It's like fetch quests. It would have been better if they took the game and just made it shorter and chopped out a lot of that useless travel and useless waiting for time to pass.
It is a little padded. It's got to be longer, fast. I know. We'll make it annoying.
Give that guy a raise.
So my overrated game is definitely going to upset a few folks. And I want to say, I don't think this is a bad game. I think it's a great Zelda game. I just don't think it's among the best. Like so many do. It's actually your favorite, Link to the Past.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding, but I will
Our
admit
YouTube channel is over.
that
We're done. We're done.
there's a lack of nostalgia there for me, and that may be hurting it in my eyes, which is maybe fair, unfair. Like there's no nostalgia goggles, but there's anti-nostalgia goggles. I don't know. I played Zelda 1 and 2 when they came out. I played Ocarina of Time when it came out. Played Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, you know, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, all when they came out. Did not play Link to the Past when it came out. And when I see like top Nintendo games ever, Mario 3 is over The Legend of Zelda, which I think is appropriate. But they're right there neck and neck. I think I like Zelda better. But on the Super Nintendo, for me, Super Mario World any day of the week over Link to the Past.
Oh, no.
It's a good game. It's a good game and not the key to happiness and peace and reverting back to your childhood that so many people our age think it is right now.
Well, Peter, we all disagree with you, but I'm sure everybody wants to hear other opinions from the other Zelda tubers that are a part of this collaboration. So,
oh yeah, thanks to everyone else in this video, and thank you to the host channel who put this all together. What a great idea.
thanks, 100% Zelda.
In the basement.
I'm gonna go fast so that I don't waste your time. My name is TheBreadPirate. I make Zelda videos, but not just any Zelda videos, I make the best ones. Wanna know if Koroks are edible? Boom! Wanna analyze castle defenses? Boom! Wanna learn useless facts that you can terrorize your friends with? Boom again! So in a nutshell, I am the Zelda YouTuber that covers trivia and history surrounding the Zelda series. So what's my favorite game? Easy. Link's crossbow training. Seriously, what other Zelda game gives you such a breathtaking experience as you lob high-speed projectiles at monsters? Imagine it, the excitement as your score climbs higher and higher, the rush as you 360 no-scope a pot, the one-to-one motion controls, it's perfect! And all of this is brought together by the incredible engineering of the Wii Zapper peripheral, which makes it feel like you're holding an actual medieval assault rifle. Also, it outsold Wind Waker by 1 million units. Take that, arch rival! All in all, it's clear that Link's crossbow training is the best Zelda game in the series, and it's not even a competition. So you could just ignore what everybody else is saying at this point. You've seen the highlight of the video. Case closed. Now I'm gonna go steal some bread or something. See ya later, chumps.
Hey everyone, I'm cdotkom and I've played way too many Zelda games. Too many to count even. It's my whole thing to make a little series of playing every single Zelda game, and I haven't even gotten to Majora's Mask yet. But that will not stop me from telling you guys that my favorite game would have to be The Wind Waker. Now, as for why I like The Wind Waker, well, it's mainly this one reason. For every single Zelda game, you know how there's highs and lows. People really like the dungeons of Twilight Princess, but maybe like Hyrule Field isn't the greatest, right? Wind Waker is the most consistent, good Zelda game, all right? And that is not a debate, that is not a discussion, that is just a fact. And of course, the music is great too. If you guys play Tears of the Kingdom, play Wind Waker. Simple as that. As much as I love Tears of the Kingdom, it's no Wind Waker, you know? And a little bit of discussion for you guys. If you have trouble swinging the sword in Skyward Sword, that's not the game, that's you. You're doing a bad job. You should play the game better. And out of all the 3D games I've played as part of this Zelda Marathon series, I'd say my least favorite have to be Majora's Mask. Not because the game's bad or anything, mainly because I was stressed out of my mind. The looming clock just went crazy. But overall, I think the Zelda series is a fantastic game series that at least everyone should play at least one game from. And hopefully it's Wind Waker. Yahaha.
Hey, I'm dannydinosaur. I am a variety streamer that is probably most well-known for Zelda content, specifically Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I am horrible at games and do not give you good tips on how to beat hard parts of the game or help you through. I am not a walkthrough kind of YouTube channel at all. Where did it go? Oh, dear. No! No! I'm like the opposite of 100% Zelda, where he meticulously looks around every Zelda game, every nook and cranny to find little secrets and details and how to do things the most efficiently. I usually just go for it. I just go for it and I try to cheese it, and I beat games often very, very incorrectly. I have a plan. I stream on both Twitch and YouTube, and I love what I do. My favorite Zelda game of all time is Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a cop-out answer to say Ocarina of Time. It's a pretty obvious choice. It might be the most overrated Zelda game of all time, but it was the first one I played. So I played this game before I was even able to read. I think a lot of the time nostalgia blinds us. When we go back and play games that we played as a kid, they're usually not as good as they were, as how we remember them. But that's not the case for Ocarina of Time. Every single time I go back to that game and replay it, it's still just as good as the first time I played it. It's so good. It hits every note I expect from a Zelda game. Dungeons, boss battles, pretty straightforward, but still good, convincing story. I'm pretty sure I play Ocarina of Time every single year, and I've never been sick of it. I still love that game. It is an absolute masterpiece. Best game ever. Ocarina of Time, hands down. And while I'm here, why don't I just say that the what I think the worst Zelda game of all time is Skyward Sword. There, I said it. It's out there. I can now rest easy. I can die and rest easy knowing that I have said what needed to be said. I get a lot of flack every time I criticize Skyward Sword. I know there's a lot of people that hold that game near and dear to their hearts, but not me. There's good parts in the game for sure, like Groose, or Link's stupid faces that he makes the whole game. I love that. But between the backtracking and the often bad level design and the getting lost, and honestly even the story, I really never want to have to pick this game up again. I'm so sorry to the Skyward Sword fans out there. There's good parts for sure, but I hate this game with every essence of my being. I would rather play a Zelda CDI game than go back to Skyward Sword. That's how much I want to pull my hair out when I play that game. So yeah, Ocarina of Time still on top. Peace. I love you, Nico.
Hello everybody, my name is drwily and I run a YouTube channel, as you can imagine, which mostly covers Zelda and Mario, and I love to talk about rumors and myths, weird little things that you can find in video games. Now, when it comes to my favorite Zelda game, it has to be Majora's Mask, mostly for its strange tone and its dark setting, which I find incredibly alluring. I don't know why, but I like dark and twisted stuff, just like I love stuff like Junji Ito as well, which is a manga writer. I don't know, it just fascinates me. And the specific reason why I like Majora's Mask so much is because of the side content, actually. I mean, the main quest is pretty good, the villain is pretty good, it has amazing dungeons, but I like the scenery, the setting, the emotional stories that you will find in some of the side quests, and also how a lot of the characters in the game have connections to each other. It really feels like a living and breathing world, and Majora's Mask was probably the first game I ever played that kind of had that. A lot of characters know each other, a lot of characters have history with each other, which I found really cool, and you don't actually see that in every Zelda game. A lot of them actually don't have that, but Majora's Mask is filled to the brim with stuff like that, and I just love it. I crave that kind of stuff in a video game. That's also why I like games like The Witcher 3 and God of War 4. Those games also have a lot of connecting stories, characters that know each other, a living and breathing world with deep lore and a lot of details and information that you can find, good emotional stories, and I don't know, I just love that kind of stuff in a video game. That really pulls me in. But obviously, I don't like every Zelda game out there. There is one that I kind of hate, and it is a very controversial take. I do not like Skyward Sword at all. I do not like the game. I don't think the story of the game is that good. I find it a bit convoluted, a bit confusing, a bit cookie cutter in some ways. I don't like all the repetitive gameplay stuff. Think of The Imprisoned, for example. I absolutely despise that. I'm not a big fan of the motion controls. It's just not for me. I could sort of tolerate it with Super Mario Galaxy, but in Skyward Sword it's everywhere and it's just a bit janky. And I also kind of don't like that Skyward Sword doesn't have too much exploration. You're very boxed in. So personally, when I play Skyward Sword, I just lose interest very quickly into the game. Like, the world doesn't suck me in, I don't care about the story in many ways, and I don't find the story that compelling throughout, no matter which portion I'm in. I just tend to pick up Skyward Sword, play it for a little bit, and then I just drop it. and that's why I don't really play it that much or care about it at all. It's just a game that, when I pick it up, I don't feel like, yes, I gotta complete this. It just doesn't happen. And I also have a Zelda hot take. Because while the recent Nintendo Switch Zelda titles were really good, I don't like the story of Tears of the Kingdom at all. It's actually so bad, in my opinion, that I have kind of lost interest in the Zelda franchise as a whole. Not the gameplay aspects, but mostly the story. I just do not care about the lore and the story anymore, especially now that they're trying to reboot it with Tears of the Kingdom. It's just that simple. There's a reason why I make gameplay videos now.
Hey folks, I'm Adam, and I run a Zelda channel known as HyruleGamer. I specialize in Zelda theories, mysteries, lore, and secrets content, but I also do some other stuff like discussions, top 5s, bit of anything. I just like talking about Zelda, really. I also do the occasional live stream, but they're pretty rare. My favourite game in the series is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I don't know if you can see it, but my bed sheets are actually Twilight Princess designed. Awesome gift from my dad, by the way. I love the game so much just because it's the first Zelda game, and probably the one that makes me feel this the most, that like I'm on an adventure. It really encapsulates that feeling of being from a small town and going on an adventure and saving the world. It's just so much fun. I love the atmosphere, I love the characters, I love the design, I love that you can go fishing. It's just everything about it. Well, and the fact it's also a little bit edgy, and I was a teenager when I really got into that game. Another favourite of mine which I would love to mention is the Minish Cap. I'd say it's my favourite 2D game. It's just so good, it's so adorable, vibrant, fun, the story's awesome, it has a unique villain that isn't Ganon or Ganondorf, shout out to Vati. And yeah, I just really like the Minish Cap as a 2D game. You should all try it if you haven't. Plus, the mechanic of shrinking down to a Minish size is so cool, and that's something I'd really love to see in a 3D game. Whether or not that'll happen, I don't know, but I love it. A Zelda hot take of mine? I would say Phantom Hourglass is a very good game and it's criminally underrated. It gets too much hate. And as for a least favourite game, I don't really dislike the game, but if I had to put one at the bottom, it would probably be between Oracle of Seasons and Link's Awakening, the remake. I've not really tried it that much, it didn't really gel with me. It's a cool game, but it didn't gel with me as much as others. I've been playing Zelda games for as long as I can remember, and I've been making videos about them for a good 7 years or something like that, and that's just on this channel. I've had other channels before where I talked about them a little. But yeah, I just really love the Zelda series, and I love the entire Zelda community. It's a very awesome place.
Hi, my name is Luke. I'm more widely known as Cleric, and I usually make silly glitch tutorials in the most recent Zelda games. Then everything is wacky. My favorite Zelda game, if I was feeling more nostalgic, it would have to be Majora's Mask. But overall, my best experience with a Zelda title has to be Breath of the Wild.
Open your eyes.
And it would seem almost disrespectful for it to not be. It was the game that gave me a career on YouTube. It has given me so many hours of fun and so many satisfying challenges to overcome, both from intended and unintended ways. It's made me part of a niche community that is filled with really cool people. Needless to say, I am really glad I played it. As for my Zelda hot take, I have something a little spicy. I personally think Age of Calamity's story is really bad. It's like a poorly written fan fiction, but without the consolation that it was only written by a teenager with no prior writing experience. It's booty and has no excuses. That's right, I'm a real hater. And you're lucky I can't stop you from personally enjoying it, because I would.
Hello, I'm Jacob, better known as MrAGame on YouTube. I do a lot of challenge runs, playthroughs of Zelda games, randomizers as well. Lots of fun and engaging videos for all ages. My favourite Zelda game out of all of them is Wind Waker. There's just something special about sailing across the ocean. The music is just fantastic, and I love Link's facial expressions and just the adventure itself. All of the islands are tight-knit little puzzles which just work really well. The sailing is just fantastic. Like, I can listen to the sailing music all day. Literally all day. And for a game that was made on the GameCube, it holds up super well today. I love Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. Oh, fantastic. Game of the year. Now here's my Zelda hot take, and I am 100% prepared for everyone to grab their torches and their pitchforks and cancel the channel completely. Don't worry, I'm prepared for it. I think Twilight Princess is the least rated Zelda game. I think it's completely overrated. Now that's not to say Twilight Princess is a bad game, okay? It's a good game. Just in terms of Zelda games, I would put that at the bottom. For me, I started playing Zelda with Skyward Sword. So I was used to the precise motion controls, and then when I finished that, I was like, that was amazing. I need the next game. And so the next game that came out for me was Wind Waker HD. It had just come out, so I picked that up and was like, this is incredible. I love this. Then I finished that game and was like, oh, I need something else to play now. So I picked up Twilight Princess on the Wii. That's my first mistake right there. So my first experience of Twilight Princess was on the Wii with waggle controls, and then it just felt like a step backwards compared to Wind Waker. It just felt like this massive expanse of land with nothing to do in it. The textures were bland and dull, and I don't really remember anything from the game. Sure, there are some great scenes like the bridge fight, that was really cool. The final fight is amazing. There are some really good things in Twilight Princess, but for me, in terms of all the other Zelda games, I feel like everything has like a defining quality. Like Ocarina of Time, you go through time. Majora's Mask, you got the moon. Wind Waker, you're sailing. Skyward Sword is this epic story of the sky and going down to the ground. Twilight Princess is just kind of like a reskin of Ocarina of Time, but wolf. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm sure people love Twilight Princess and they have really good arguments for it, but for me, I've only played it once. I played through half of the HD version and got bored. So that's just my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this. I love Wind Waker. Wind Waker, oh, just nah. Ba-ba-da.
Hi, Future Nico here. I just finished putting all the pieces together. I'm gonna change my outro. I just want to change it. I just want to say that I'm so lucky. Thank you to the Zelda channels that are participating in this video. You should all check them out. They are popular Zelda channels for a reason. And feel free to let us know in the comments what your favorite Zelda games are, your least favorite. Share your opinions. And if you want to see me use YouTube's polls to get 830,000 votes to rank all the Zelda titles from least popular to most popular, you can check out this video over here. But either way, thanks again to all channels that participated. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I was so excited to share this video. And of course, subscribe or at least check out all the channels in this video for more Zelda content. See you next time.